A lot of good. Nice.
I wish I could jump in so badly.
Good morning, welcome aboard.
Watch your step on the way up. Watch your step.
Hi, welcome aboard. Hi, good morning, welcome. For your toes, okay? Big step over that black line and away from our ramp, alright? Hold on to that handrail as we're into one of our hatchways. And when you get to your hatchway, guys, this is important. You will look down and see a bunch of steep steps. That's not to be staircase, okay? It's a ladder. So any ladder you've ever been on, you gotta stop, turn around, and face that ladder as you go down. Alright, guys? Always face the ladder, moving up and down. That means you're going down backwards, holding onto the rails on both sides. Anybody's assistants are smaller taking here. Please send whoever is assisting down first, alright? Each get one assist from the bottom to the top. Now, as far as that you can bring with you go, there's absolutely no smoking, no eating, no drinking for the submarine except for bottled water with a secure lid. Any of those other items need to stay up here, alright? And one item you can bring with you if you are interested is a souvenir dive log. It's an optional offer for just $8. It has some great info in it. It will equal tourism are the tourism we do here in Hawaii. A schematic of our submarine, a fish ID, and color depth chart. Colors are going to get absorbed down there. More about the other dive sites around the Hawaiian Islands, and a brief history of submersibles and a recap of our safety guide. So you guys like a dive log? Over $1, Danny here. Now we have approached our submarine, guys, so please remain seated for now. I know you folks want a photo of the outside of the submarine. Don't worry, you guys are going to get a great photo opportunity at the end of the tour, right? The end of the tour, we're going to wrap around the Atlantis tank and give you guys a great photo opportunity. So for now, please remain seated until the Yogi calls upon you. Yogi will lead your boarding procedure by groups, right, guys? So remain seated until Captain calls upon your group, and we'll see you down there in a minute.
We're gonna board them. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome aboard the Atlantis submarine, everybody. My name's James. I'll be your co-pilot today. If you hear a little bit of hissing from the cockpit, that is our life support system coming on. We'll rumbling back here. That's our CO2 scrubber. If you have any questions, let me know. The next voice you're going to hear is our pilot, Tomo Rogers. Everybody over here on this side of the submarine, my side, the starboard side, I want you guys to spread out for me, okay? We'll try to spread out as much of our weight as possible. So you guys get a little bit more elbow room, enjoy your own view for today.
Request permission to begin the dive sequence.
Clear to dive.
Bending air ballast now. 3s and 4s, 2s and 5s, 1s and 6s. That's all tanks. Dive, dive, dive.
All tanks open 1-1. That's one. Shoot for shots and clear vertical.
Tomo Rogers. He's me diving tickets around. A little fun fact for you guys about Tomo. He is the person on Earth with the most submarine dives. He's done over the most submarines. Also been diving the submarine for 25 years. So do some math, figure that how many times. Alright, so we're making our way down, guys. Now if you have your cell phones out, you might realize you no longer have cell phone service. I would actually suggest flipping your phone to airplane mode. It will save you some battery if your phone's searching for service that's not going to receive, alright? So you guys don't have cell phone service, neither do we. Our VHF radios don't work down here, so we have an underwater telephone. You folks can basically think about it as 2 tin cans connected by a string, okay? That string would be the ocean. So we're going to listen in right now to our pilot, Tomo, as it is his first comms check using the underwater telephone. So let's listen in.
Service Atlantis 10, comms check underwater telephone.
Atlantis 32, loud and clear.
We're happy the same. Our ballast is set and our vents are secure.
That's copy.
Alright guys, so we're now free to explore. We're making our way over our main body of natural coral reef. So the difference between a natural coral reef and an artificial reef is what the coral reef is growing on top of. So coral reef does need to attach itself to something hard in order to grow. It can't just grow out of nowhere. So all the coral reef that you're currently looking at, folks, it is growing off of a rock. Do you want to take a guess at what type of rock? Yeah, we only have one type of rock here in Hawaii, so good guess. Yes, this is lava rock. So all of this is growing off of ancient lava flows from our nearby volcano, Hualalai. Hualalai erupted thousands of years ago, left behind these lava flows. Coral reef took it over. That makes it a natural coral reef system. Now we do have some schools of fish swimming down here already. Both sides of the submarine. Silverfish, cigar-shaped body, forked yellow tail. Now that is a juvenile goatfish called the owama. I know it's a juvenile because it's in a big school like this. It prefers a school as a juvenile for protection. Once it becomes an adult, it will venture off, and then it's no longer called the owama. It changes names. It's then referred to as the vekea'a, or the veke. Now the veke was sacred for the Hawaiians. It produces a type of neurotoxin that's pretty hallucinogenic. So the leader of the spirit would consume the vekea'a, have the vivid hallucinations, report back what they saw. So this fish you guys are currently looking at is the juvenile version of the Hawaiians' mind-opening ceremony fish. It was very sacred for them. sure you folks have noticed lots of white specks in the water column. Kind of looks like we've had a snow globe that's been shaken up. Now we do refer to this stuff as marine snow, because it looks like snow coming down on us down here. But what it actually is plankton, guys. So plankton is a big broad word, means anything that cannot swim against the current. Fish, eggs, coral, larvae, even a jellyfish is technically plankton. It can't swim against the current. Now this plankton you're looking at today, guys, is primarily phytoplankton. That means it's some sort of plant particulate. It does photosynthesize and provide our atmosphere with breathable oxygen. So a good chunk of our breathable oxygen comes from phytoplankton, just like the guys are looking at today. Now phytoplankton is also important to us because our filter feeders live off of it. So things like the whale shark and the manta ray survive off this phytoplankton. And it also indicates to us that our ecosystem down here is quite healthy. So we are thankful for our phytoplankton. Now, if you guys are wondering what my favorite fish to spot down here is, he is on your little fish ID charts there by your viewpoints. It is two-sided. My favorite fish is on the front side where it says Hawaiian reef fish in the top left corner. He's called the long-nosed butterfly fish. And he's my favorite fish for a few reasons. First, here in Kona, and only here in Kona, that fish can do something remarkable. It can turn itself all black, and we have no idea why. Researchers paid a lot of money to take a black long-nosed butterfly fish off the reef here in Kona. They brought it back to Oahu for research. By the time they got it back there, the fish had turned back to yellow. So they have no idea why only on this side of this island that fish will turn all black. It doesn't happen up in Hilo, only on the Kona side of this island, the only place in the entire world it's been documented. So it's a really rare thing to see. Now, if you are looking for that, the long-nosed butterfly fish is a pair bonding species, so it is always found in a pair. If you see the yellow version, look for his mate. His mate might be that black version. That's a very rare fish to see, guys. That's Hawaii's rarest fish, really. Now, the other reason I love that fish is for its Hawaiian name. So its Hawaiian name, the non-black versions are the Lau Wili Wili Nuku Nuku Oi Oi. That actually beats our state fish, the Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Apua'a, by 2 letters, so it gives him the longest Hawaiian name. And when they turn all black, the Hawaiians add LA to that name. LA is the Hawaiian word for black. So the fish becomes the Lau Wili Wili Nuku Nuku Oi Oi LA being the Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Apua'a by 8 letters. She liked it. So yeah, guys, that's why it's our favorite fish. First Hawaiian fish here in our waters, as well as the fish with the longest Hawaiian name. So keep your eyes open for that fish, guys. Again, look for the yellow versions, look for the mate. You might just get to spot a black one. Now we are going to see our most famous fish. I'm seeing it both sides of the submarine right now. Actually, they have a lot of guys look down into the reef for this fish. It's a fully yellow fish, about the size of your palm. You might recognize this fish if you've seen any saltwater aquarium or if you've watched Finding Nemo. He was Bubbles, the fish obsessed with the bubbles in the dentist's office of Finding Nemo. That fish is called a yellow tang. Now, yellow tangs were sacred for Hawaii because they were that bright yellow color. They were also native to Hawaii. That means they were originally from Hawaii. That bright yellow color was the color of the ali'i, the royalty of the Hawaiians. So if you weren't ali'i, you couldn't have anything yellow colored. That includes yellow feathers and yellow flowers. You could not catch a yellow fish. If you were caught catching a yellow fish, you would pay the price of that fish. What's the price, guys? Yeah, your life. You pay for that little yellow fish with your life. So we had a lot of yellow tang at one point for that reason exactly. So much so that when the waves would break here on the Kona coast, they could appear to have a golden hue to them. Unfortunately, since the 70s, the aquarium trade has picked up. We now consistently lose about 500,000 of those yellow tang per year to the aquarium trade. But you're going to see plenty today, and that is because we're diving on a marine sanctuary, so there is no commercial fishing, no aquarium trade within this 25 acres of reef. Alright, port side, you guys have a school of fish coming down there for you guys. Yellow fish, blue stripes running up its body. It's called the blue-lined snapper, or the ta'ape. Now the name ta'ape gives something very significant away about that fish. There are only 13 letters in the Hawaiian alphabet, none of which are T. So ta'ape are not from Hawaii, guys. They are from Tahiti. We brought over the ta'ape in 1959. That's the same year it became a state. And we brought them over because that would be a viable food source for us as it is in Tahiti. Unfortunately, it was a very thought-through plan. We actually lack the main food source of the ta'ape here in Hawaii. So without their main food source, they don't get to be the correct size for consumption. And they also don't have a very good shelf life. They get pretty mushy after a day, like fish jello. So we do not eat that fish. Now the population has gotten wildly out of control. It is now, unfortunately, an invasive species. It has pushed our native snapper species into deeper waters. Butterfly fish out there port side. You see them paired off. Now, those are a pair bonding species, just like the long-nosed butterfly fish, that raccoon butterfly fish, pair bonding species, and that is to a fault, guys. If they lose their mate, they'll spend the rest of their days searching for their mate until they starve to death. So they live together and they die together. They are fully mated for life, those fish. We have some great views of our coral reef here. Oh, another pair of raccoon butterfly fish now for you folks starboard side. That's that pair bonding species we just talked about. This coral reef, guys, is one of the healthiest coral reef in the entire world. Ooh, parrotfish for you guys port side. That's the parrotfish, or the uhu in Hawaiian. That very vividly colored one. The vividly colored ones are the males, by the way. The females are much more dull in color. We have beautiful views of our coral reef here, guys. Coral reef for as far as you guys can see. Now, this is some of the healthiest coral reef in the entire world here on the big island of Hawaii. So there are some other reefs out there in remote locations doing better than this one. But as far as where people are living, where there is a tourism industry, this is one of the healthiest coral reefs, guys. So we take a lot of pride in our reef here on the Big Island, I should say, here in Hawaii in general as well. So if you go scuba diving or snorkeling here in Hawaii, we ask that you stay off the reef. Please do not step on it. Don't touch it. It is very fragile. It takes an entire year for this coral reef to grow half an inch. That could be broken in a matter of seconds. Now it looks like we have found our first shipwreck of the day, guys. I believe we're going to show port side first. Don't worry, starboard side. We spin around, show you guys next to your own front row view. You guys are at a great reef actually to see that parrotfish port side. I see 3 out there right now. And that's a very important fish to us here in Hawaii. So look for one. I'll explain more why in just a little bit, alright? But right now, guys, we are pulling up to our first shipwreck. So there's a little bit of rubble on the sea floor there. That used to be the pilot's helm. It was once connected to this vessel at one point, got swept off in a very large swell. This vessel is called the Predator. It sank down here in 1996. It is a World War II Higgins-style landing craft. So this was the type of vessel used to storm the beaches of Normandy during World War II. You will recognize it if you've played Call of Duty or seen Saving Private Ryan. It was used in those. This particular vessel, however, was not used in World War II. It was bought afterwards in a military surplus. It had intends to be a shark diving tour here in Kona. Unfortunately, folks, shark diving tours here in Hawaii are pretty taboo. You'll probably notice that no other island except for Oahu has any. Oahu is a bit different. They are a melting pot of cultures. The outer islands are still fairly traditional, and they believe in the concept of Amakua.
Now, Amakua is the Hawaiian belief that when your relatives pass away, they come back as a specific animal of the island to protect your family. A lot of times, that animal, or the Amakua, is the shark. So sharks are seen to be ancestors of Hawaiians, relatives, loved ones. To have a shark diving tour where you come down here and poke and prod at a very sacred spiritual animal is considered culturally insensitive. So much so, the ones on Oahu need cultural permits to be operating. So this gentleman was worried what he was doing was a bit insensitive, but he said, no, I have my vessel, I'm going on with my tour. But he was having a really hard time getting his tour off the ground, especially because he had so much local backlash. So he had this boat tied up to a mooring out here. A mooring is a type of permanent anchor, so a big piece of cement, big heavy item that has a line that floats all the way to the surface. Boats can tie up to that mooring instead of casting anchor and potentially harming our coral reef. So this boat was tied up to its mooring. Then in March of 1996, a tropical storm was rolling in, and a few locals took it upon themselves to swim out this vessel and rip out its bilge pump. Now your bilge pump pumps out excess water that comes on your deck. So technically that rainstorm should have rolled in, and the bilge pump should have pumped all that rain out. But the bilge pump was no more, so the vessel began to feel like a bathtub. After about 2 hours, there was enough water in it. The vessel began to sink down right on top of its mooring. Now, 2 weeks after the event, the gentleman tried to come down here and find evidence of sabotage. He couldn't find any, so his insurance company called it negligence. He got nothing in a payout. So he pulled the shark cage up, the most salvageable item of this, and he retired in modern day Egypt. Now we are pulling up to the Predator for you guys on the starboard side now. Now a little fun fact for you guys. Our pilot today, Tomo Rogers, was here the day the Predator sank down. So your pilot watched this shipwreck become a shipwreck. Now he dives on it every day. A little full circle. Starboard side, your view of the Predator. And this is a, again, artificial reef system. So lots of algae, lots of fish thriving on this artificial reef system. Also lots of sea urchins. Probably the most notable sea urchin is the Vana. It looks like a black pincushion, kind of a pokey black ball. That's the Vana, guys. Now you don't want to step on the Vana. Vana is venomous. It will break off in your skin. Feels like you have 20 bee stings you need to pull out. Now the ancient Hawaiians, if they got Vana stuck in their skin, they would take the paddle from their canoe and they would smack that Vana out of their bodies. So lots of parrotfish this morning, guys. Both sides, some hanging out on the artificial reef system, some hanging out in the natural reef over here on the port side now. So we're going to carry on. There was some bluefin trevally coming up to you guys on the starboard side. Those are our predatory fish. They are the tuna fish family. They look similar to tuna fish, but they're called bluefin trevally. And you might see them swim under our vessel, think they're going to pop out the other side. Nope, they're using our submarine like a Trojan horse. They will hang out under the shadow of our submarine. And when we pass large schools of fish, they will dart out and grab themselves some lunch. Great views of those parrotfish for you guys port side. So I've been saying a lot about the parrotfish. It is a very important fish here in Hawaii. And to explain to you guys why, I need to explain to you what coral reef is first. So the hard, stony coral that we're looking at today, healthy hard, stony coral is made up of three things. So it is a plant, it is an animal, it is a mineral. All three things make it up. So what we're seeing today is the mineral, the exoskeleton of the coral reef. That's calcium carbonate. So if you've ever played with chalk, or if you've taken a Tums before, you know what this feels like, right? And within the exoskeleton of the coral reef, guys, lives what I like to call a planimal. It's a plant. So the fish we're going to see down here are more of our predatory fish or nesting fish, fish that create their own homes. Now, just as the correct wavelengths for photosynthesis don't reach past about 80 feet, past about 30 feet, the correct wavelengths for color are lost. So color is light, light is color. That might explain to you why you might have gotten down to our coral reef and thought it was a little lackluster in color. And sure people, ooh, Heller's barracuda, starboard side. That's cool, guys. That's the Heller's barracuda, our schooling variety of barracuda fish. And they do not school for protection, they school to hunt. They hunt together like that. Yeah, our color, guys, I might explain to you why our coral reef looks this way. So if you've watched documentaries on National Geographic and Netflix, I'm sure you've seen beautiful color reefs. Now our reef is also very colorful and beautiful. You just can't see those colors down here. So after about 30 feet of seawater, you lose the visible wavelength spectrum. And that all starts with the color red. The color red is the longest wavelength, but it has the shortest peaks. It gets absorbed the quickest by the ocean. If you were wearing red at the beginning of this tour, you're probably not currently wearing red. It's probably a bit brown, maybe purple, change a little bit of colors. If you don't have a red neighbor, you can look down towards my co-pilot, up towards me here in the front. We both have little crabs in our hands. There's one down there for you guys as well. Now what color is this crab currently? Black. Black. You're a bit further away from me. Purple. You're next to me, right? Purple. I can almost put it to the blue part and it fluoresces purple almost, right? Nice fluorescent purple happening for you folks. However, if I ask my pilot to turn on my internal light systems, it's a cherry red crab, guys. Bright red crab. So take a look at your items, take a look at your clothes. You've gone back to your true color. But as soon as these lights go back out, we go back to purple. Now if you guys want to think about this logically, this is a red crab. We're left with blue light down here. So a red crab being reflected by blue light, red plus blue equals green. Green. Purple. That's why this crab looks this way. It's also why our coral reefs look the way they did, guys. Our coral reefs are red, orange, pink in color. They were very much for your contributions. Now we are over a patch of Halimeda seagrass here. It's another endemic species found only here in Hawaii, and it is a calcareous algae. What I mean by calcareous algae is it must grow one speck of sand at the top of every blade. That speck of sand breaks off and becomes part of our sand system. So about 5% of our sand is Halimeda seagrass, 75% is parrotfish poo, and the rest is things like erosion, waves constantly hitting our coastlines. Ooh, big ulua for you guys on the port side. Those are our giant trevally, or the ulua. Here's another one. Now again, these guys are going to swim under us, but they are using us like a Trojan horse. They aren't going to pop out the other side. They're swimming beneath us now. So some yellowfin surgeonfish coming up to us here on the port side. These are cousins of Dory from Finding Nemo. So same body shape, same fin shape as Dory, but they are the yellowfin surgeonfish. Pretty big school of surgeonfish here. Do you guys know what we call a school of surgeonfish? A medical school. Now they are coming right up to our submarine, guys, because we do dock our submarine at brackish water harbor overnight. So we grow a specific type of algae that they absolutely love. So they're coming right up to our submarine for a snack. Now it looks like we have found our second and final shipwreck of the day, guys. Gonna show port side again first. Don't worry, starboard side again. We will spin around for you next. But this is a sailboat. It sank down here in 1986. That's 10 years before the Predator did. And it was bought from an Alaskan couple planning on retiring here in Kona. They bought this sailboat, they brought it down here to Kona. They began doing renovations on top of it when they realized they had a termite problem. There was a bit of a dispute about how to take care of the termite problem. However, in the middle of the dispute, the husband had to go back to Alaska for a family emergency. So wife decided she was going to take things into her own hands. She decided she was going to smoke out her termites. So she boarded this vessel and she lit an emergency flare, thinking lots of smoke, not lots of flames, started smoking out her termites. Unfortunately, she wasn't thinking about the metal tailings, very hot metal pieces that come off those emergency flares. Those hot metal pieces hit her brand new floorboards. Her floorboards lit on fire. That fire escalated. It got to cooking propane tanks. Her propane tanks blew, alright? So this vessel actually got down here with so much force and so quickly it landed right side up. Typically sailboats land on their side, sometimes upside down. That force, this one landed right side up. Now guys, on a positive note, they did fix their termite problem. On a better note, the woman that was aboard this vessel was able to jump overboard in time. She jumped overboard and swam to a local dinner cruise called the Tamaray. She boarded the Tamaray, removed her wet clothing, and hung them over the rails to dry. She then helped herself to an open liquor cabinet. The next morning, the crew for the Tamaray came in. They found a lady sprawled out on their deck wearing nothing but a smile. And that's where this vessel is now referred to as the Naked Lady. So we're turning around here, guys. We're going to get lined up to show starboard side, the Naked Lady, the artificial reef system down here. So again, lots of algae, lots of fish thriving on this artificial reef system. Now, most of the fish that are on this one are fish that will live here, will die here. There's no other viable reef system within a decent swimming distance, so they're going to spend their whole lives on this artificial reef system. White in the center, black around the rim. That's the Hawaiian Bacillus. Silver dollar damselfish. Very territorial little fish. You get close to its home, it'll attack you by pulling at your arm hairs and pinching you. Do whatever it can to get you away from your home. Now there is a buckle in the middle of the vessel, guys. That buckle is where her propane tanks were located, where the explosion took place up the sides of her vessel. Now there is a big long line at the very back of this vessel, guys. That big long line is a moor. This is a very popular scuba diving spot. So that big long line goes all the way to the surface. Boats can tie up to it instead of casting anchor, potentially harming this artificial reef system. Alright guys, so we're going to find a patch of soft sand to nestle ourselves down into. We're going to touch the bottom of the seafloor here. You might feel a little bump as we do so. We have skins that leather down there, something like the bottom of the helicopter allow us to do this. Then you're going to hear a hissing noise. That hissing noise is a bubble of air reaching our surface crew. There's no periscope on top of our submarine, so we send a bubble of air up in front of us. They're able to locate that bubble, clear the area, and make sure it's safe for our submarine to come up. So guys, this is going to be the deepest part of our tour. If you ever want to give your loved one the deepest hug or kiss they've ever received, now would be your opportunity. If you've got a loved one, don't worry, that James down there in the back, he's really good at hugs. Alright, I'm going to hand the mic over here to our pilot while he begins his surfacing procedures.
Line of surface at -10. We're coming up from 110 feet offshore of the Lady. Request heading and clearance.
That's clear to depth of 40 feet, range heading 030.
030.
Alright guys, so we are slowly starting to rise here using our vertical thrusters. That's the whirring noise you're hearing, as well as our slight positive buoyancy to slowly start to rise up. Once we get the clear to surface, we will fill our air ballast, become very positive, very quickly go rocketing to the surface. That will be the fastest part of our tour. We tend to go so quickly, we catch up to the bubbles we've set. It kind of looks like we're floating through a champagne flute. Bubbles might feel they're going down, that's just how fast we're going up.
1,080 feet. Now 70 feet, so only at 40. Roger, clear to surface. Switching, isolating, filling ballast. We're coming up.
Alright guys, that was the clear to surface. So fasten your seatbelts, trays in the upright lock position, because here we go. Well, welcome back to the surface, guys. On the starboard side, you might hear a skip coming up to you guys. You have a skipper's challenge of jumping from that skip to the submarine, help them along with high tie up their lines. Port side, you might see a long guy coming up to you guys in a fun perspective of a boat. Do remain seated, guys, until we give you the clear to disembark. Once we get the clear, we're all turning to our left and heading that way. So port side will go down in the back, starboard side will come up towards.
We have 14 submarines worldwide. This is the smaller but more popular model. This is the Atlantis 48. Holds 48 passengers and 3 crew. We also have a lower of 64 passengers and 3 crew. It weighs 80 tons, but 9 of the tons are the batteries for this fully electric powered submarine. And being fully electric powered, that does mean you have to charge it every single evening. Kind of like charging your cell phone, except for our cables are a bit larger. Those crew members are going to stand there and wave, guys. And even though Brooke is our boss, it's kind of fun to have the power once. They are probably getting hot, so we're going to